Now I'm coming back to my notepad. I didn't give the name, just if you look at it, ABC Road, I will make sure that the reservations are bona fide and no malpractices are being indulged in. Then check the availability of number of seats. Okay. Then rate of the ticket and compare other reservation platforms for better option. See, our scope is test this form whether it works fine or not. Are we asking rate should be better than the other platforms? We never asked that. When you are given an object, test this bike, how this bike works better than the other bike doesn't matter to us. So, number one moral, stick to what you are supposed to do. Stick to what you are asked to do. Otherwise, scope will become, or say, world is the limit. You will be testing again and again. With other platform, with better option. What do you mean by better option? Better option mean same class, better price, or the ticket is not available in your platform, but that is available in that platform. What do you mean by better? Second moral, avoid adjectives. Okay. We can check train number and name when our railway reservation. See, when our railway reservation, is this a good English? No, this is a wrong English. Always install Grammarly on your system. Okay. There is something called Grammarly. See, these are all very specific points. If I am the employer, if I am asking a person to write something, I expect perfection. Grammarly is a tool which will sit on the browser. You can install it, it's free. It will tell spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes as you type. So better to use Grammarly. 99% of the mistake it will try to avoid. It will show you like this, what you see on the screen. It will exactly tell what you are supposed to write. Any mistakes it will point out. So just like that, in a company environment, type something and then send it. It will come back in the same speed to you. Okay. It is not easy. So better install Grammarly. Again, I repeat, it will be slightly hurting. I expect, or any employer expects, better English. Again, you don't know how to know everything. You may be typing it wrong, but there are tools in Word or Grammarly. It helps you to make it perfect. So use these tools. They are all free tools. So before you send any text to anybody else, check the grammar, check the spelling. Whether the train name, time, date, class, money on the page are same as deserved by you. This is exactly somebody said. Deserve and reserve are have different meanings. So before you send, you first read it. Okay. You first read it. Whether you understand. Use Grammarly to check grammar. Okay. Write better English. That is very, very, and stick to what you are asked to do. Don't say compare this and that. It is not asked. You are not asked to compare other platforms with this platform. Enter the name of the passenger, age, gender, etc. in each passenger details. Okay. This makes sense. Someone, and also understand one thing. Think that 8th standard person will take instruction from you. Imagine you are going to tell that person, hey, do this. Hey, do this. Now you are telling an 8th standard person, hey, enter the name of the passenger, comma, age, gender. When you say etc., what all those etc. 8th standard boy will say, uncle, what is that 8th standard? What is that etc.? What do you mean by that? That guy will ask you. In each passenger details, correct. One other person has sent me a drive link, which is very novel. I appreciate that person, whoever has sent. Now somebody had said, what will you test in a railways reservation form? Tenants need to log in. What do you mean by tenant? What do you mean by tenant? I'm a passenger. I'm not a tenant here. So use the words carefully. So with proper login credentials, which we provided while registration, right? You say tenants and you say we. Who is tenant? Who is we? Are they one and the same? Are they different? An 8th standard person will ask, uncle, I don't understand this. Or boy, I don't understand. My friend, I don't understand this. Right? And now it says age needs to be verified for the passengers above 60, which is senior citizen. They will be prioritized. What will you check? What will you verify here? I enter 50 or I enter 60 or I enter 65. What is the verification here? Others, is this clear? When you say age needs to be verified, what do you mean by that? Because when I enter the age, should the fare be calculated differently? Or because I enter the age 60, should only lower berth be allocated to me? What do you mean by here, this sentence? Are you getting what I'm saying? One sentence you write, somebody will ask a question. Age needs to be verified. What do you verify here? Okay. And avoid adjectives, safer, safer. What do you mean by safer payment? Safe for you may not be safe for me, right? So allow the tenants to book their seats according to their comfort zone. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by comfort zone? Now look at this. Limit the ticket booking numbers to 5 per user ID. That makes very clear. That looks very clear. So limit it to 5 rupees. Sorry, 5 persons within a ticket or per user ID. That makes sense. Now you tell me, is the 10th clear or is the 6th clear? 10th is clear. 6th is vague. It is ambiguous. It is not giving one meaning. Different people can interpret in different ways. Right? So let me stop sharing. Let me come back to my other window. Somebody said check the graphical user interface for the menus, buttons. Very good. That is correct. And another person said navigation is working properly. Correct. From registration page or to availability page, I need to come to the booking page. Correct. Okay. Somebody said whether the form is encrypted, are we seeing HTTPS? Very good. Correct. So you need to be very specific. And another person mentioned as a compatibility test, check whether it works from laptop and it is working from mobile phone. Very good. That is a compatibility part of it, right? Very good. Then if the transaction fails, amount should be rolled back to the account. Very good, right? So I book the ticket, I pay through either bill desk or phone pay. Something happened, money has to come back to me. That's a very good test. What I say is, I wrote 100 such lines. Doesn't matter. Even if you write 10 lines, if the 10 lines are clear for a 10 standard person or an 8 standard person, this is one of the famous things. I think one of the, I forgot the name of the person, but I remember the quote. If you can't explain even the complex thing to an 8 standard person, obviously you are not convincing others. Okay. Because you have to make even the complex things very simple. The way you express. That is what we are trying to do. Now look at this. We looked at the objects. Now we come to the form, but the way you write, you would have seen Microsoft help, IBM help, Oracle help, step by step instructions. Google Maps, Abhiramapuram to Adayar, crystal clear instructions. Take left, take right, take a U-turn. Crystal clear instructions. No doubt will come. I will help you. We will help you how to write like that in a simple manner without having any problems. Okay. So what I suggest is good. Now you understand documentation is not that easy. People who think, oh, I know English. No, you may know English, but you need to write it in a way that you should first understand. You write it now, read it after 1 hour, then tell me whether you wrote it correct or not. That itself is a good exercise. Do one thing. Let us do this as an exercise. The same reservation form, same railways reservation form. You wrote now. You spend some time. After 2-3 hours, you yourself read it. See whether you are able to understand what you thought. Number one. Number two, give that to your friend. Ask him or her to read. Ask specific question. Give the full freedom. I don't understand. You have to tell I don't understand. Okay. All these things you need to really have a practice, because companies need this kind of a documentation on every single thing. Banks give instructions. Hospitals give instructions. Everywhere there is a clear instruction. Same way, software also needs clear instruction. So what I would suggest is the same exercise you wrote now, read it after 2-3 hours. If you find it is not clear to you, you correct it. Then give it to your friend. See whether your friend is able to understand it correct. Then make a correction based on that. Tomorrow we will discuss that version. At least you are able to convince one other person that he or she understands what you wrote. Make sense? Does it make sense? Good. Did we learn something new today? If so, please raise your hands.